Wanting to become a YouTuber for fun or for profit? Check out the amazing Blue Yeti microphone today. Affiliate link in the video description. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the MundaneChats channel, and you know what's really fun to discuss? The wage gap. It's hilarious to discuss the wage gap, and I'll tell you guys why. Because from your lowly Tumblr feminist all the way to the upper echelons of our government, at least the previous administration, the wage gap was touted around as a real, legit thing, as a sexist boogeyman, if you will, that, well, was like any other boogeyman. It's not real. It's made up. It's a figment of your imagination. And the reason why is because, well, the data is skewed. It's not accurately maintained, and people never actually want to stop for a second to think about it logically or rationally. They just want to run with this wage gap that women make 77 cents for every dollar a man makes, and it's a load of crap. It is. It's a load of crap. But this time around, we're seeing this pop up in Australia because even though it's a land down under, you can see these kind of social trends tend to trickle their way down under, if you will. And this is kind of what's happening. So you have this cafe in New Brunswick in Melbourne titled Handsome Her. It's a relative new cafe, only opened last month, and I have a feeling this is just nothing more than simply a ploy to get some free publicity via selective outrage, right? Because it's ridiculous here. So as we can see, there's this picture. It says Handsome Her is a space by women for women, which fine, whatever, cool. It's like Curves. I just don't ever have to go there. Now they have house rules. Rule number 1, women here have priority seating. Rule number 2, men will be charged an 18% premium to reflect the gender pay gap 2016, which is donated to women's service. And number 3, respect goes both ways. But both 1 and 2 pretty much throw respect out the damn window. So that's my favorite part about all of this. It's like respect goes both ways. But if you're a man, we're gonna charge you 18% premium if you want to come to this location. And here's the thing: to be truthful about this, looking at this, it is entirely a voluntary thing. It's not mandatory at all. The men are told they're going to be charged 18% more. They have the option of doing it or not doing it. And that's perfectly fine. But it doesn't tell you on the board here that it's optional. It doesn't tell you on the board that there's, that this is something that they're doing for I guess, for more fun. It's once a week, once a month is when they plan on running this campaign. So it's not 24/7 at the cafe, again, because that would probably end up driving away a lot of their male-based business. And so they do this once a week, once a month, hoping that, they'll be able to kind of turn it into a bit of a thing. Probably, I would argue they want this to be more of a meme than anything else. But I still have to laugh at the fact that they resorted to this sort of thing in order to try to drum up business. Because that's precisely what's happening. Melbourne is, from my understanding, a relatively kind of like feminist, social justice warrior, regressivist hotbed in Australia. And there's a lot of people there. Melbourne was where Cassie J's The Red Pill documentary was having the most trouble trying to actually get a screening house to showcase the documentary, because that's where all the feminists were basically screeching into the wilds and hoping that they would get the film taken down, and they did in many cases. Even though the movie is completely harmless, it showcases a lot of inequalities when it comes to family court systems and how men are usually disproportioned in that particular system. It doesn't matter, because she gave a platform to someone like Paul Elam or whatever. Again, it's just, you can see the type of people that they're trying to attract. You can see the type of people that they're trying to bring into this. And it really does crack me up that they're still running on this wage gap myth. It's myth. It's an absolute myth. Like the article here from this website says, oh no, it's based in statistics. Yeah, so is the statistics here in the United States. And again, that's where a lot of this stuff gets its foothold. It's not real. It's based on cumulative jobs and positions, not each individual job and position. All right. It's basically asking what a doctor makes versus what a school teacher makes, and then combining the two for an average. It's one of the most ridiculous and stupid bell curves I've ever seen in my entire life. It makes no sense when you break it down, like statistically, scientifically, you know, any other kind of ethically in there, you can break this thing apart. And it always cracks me up, though, that it becomes this huge rallying point, this huge kind of thing for feminists. It's this boogeyman that they've been able to weaponize into something like this, something as discriminatory as this particular sign. Handsome Her is trying to get their, you know, like I said, they're trying to get their start. They're trying to get their start inside Australia. They're trying to get their start in this coffee shop. You know, they don't even have, like, you know, disposable cups there. It's all donated mugs. I'm actually cool with that. I'm totally fine with that. I'm like, you know what? We throw away way too much crap as it is. It's always good to reuse some stuff. Cool. They want to be a greenie. They want to lower their carbon footprint. By all means, go for that. But when they start pushing this kind of ideological BS, you can't help but just kind of laugh at what other things they might come up with, because apparently, like, this is being championed. People are liking this sort of thing. They're enjoying this little game. It's kind of like white guilt, the coffee shop, you know, or like just male guilt, the coffee shop. It's like, well, you got to go to Handsome Her if you want to atone for your sins of being a male once a month for a week. You know, it's like confession, but for the matriarchy. It's one of these things that, like, I have a feeling it's probably going to get some negative press. I would definitely, you know, like, I would definitely go there and probably just tell them no and see what would happen, you know. But that's the thing, is women also, this women have priority seating stuff bothers me. It does. It bothers me because, again, it's number one and number two here. Both these rules are sexist. They're very sexist. And it's so funny that they don't see it as being sexist. It's like, I was reading this thing today on Twitter that said, like, a trans person cannot, you know, sexually assault you. You cannot be, you know, victimized. Like, you can't be raped by a trans person. You can have forced sexual intercourse with a trans person, but you can't be raped by a trans person, because that whole power privilege nonsense that you get seen thrown around all the time. It's the same concept here, is that, like, it just attaches this, like, this nonsense to the entire situation. I don't know, guys. I look at something like this and you know that it's a stunt. You know that it's something that they're just doing in hopes to try to drum up business, probably because they're having trouble getting started in the first couple months of running a business. And the thing is, you always run your business the first couple of years pretty much at a loss, because you're trying to build up a rapport, you're trying to build up customer base, you're trying to do all these things. What they're using is they're using cheap sexist tricks in order to bring in people who, for one, might want to come in for the novelty of it, which isn't really trying to benefit what they deem to be the wage gap inside of Australia's system. It's coming in to just go like, ooh, this will be fun. I'm going to go pay more money because I'm a man. It's going to do that kind of thing, because you're going to get your male feminist allies are going to try to do it. And then you're going to have, like, you know, a hotbed of well, basically man-hating feminists that are going to be in there, and then again, that's going to send a negative vibe through the community. You can't sit there and say that respect goes both ways, but then say that women have priority seating, and that, you know, you're going to charge 18% on top of a drink for a man. Even if you donate that to charity, it still comes across as extortion, even if it's voluntary. You know, it's not mandatory. You're not going to charge it because you can't legally do that. You can't legally do it. That's the whole point too. They can't legally get away with it. If they could, they probably would, but they can't. So that's what they're calling it. You know, they're calling it voluntary, not mandatory. It makes sense that they're trying to skirt around the law as much as they possibly can without being deemed sexist. But that's exactly what this is. And honestly, I hope more people call it out for the nonsense that it is. Well, that wraps up the video, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today and giving it a watch. If you guys would like to support the channel, please give it a thumbs up, comment below, share it around, subscribe, hit the little bell for notifications so you're up to date on all the content this channel releases. If you'd like to help out during the adpocalypse, you can do so with Amazon affiliate links in the beginning of the video. There is Patreon. $1 from everyone would go a really long way right now, as well as also Bitcoin and PayPal. Thank you guys very much. My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day. Peace out.